Welcome to Weekly Digest, where we highlight the works of ministers of government as they push the administration's development agenda. Minister of Amerindian Affairs Pauline Sukai over the weekend delivered to residents in Santa Rosa in the Moruca Sub-District of Region 1 tractors, a bus and a check for a boat. The villages of Mora, Paraquis, 7 Miles Branch Road, Cabrora and Camwata each received a tractor equipped with a trailer and harrow to aid in their economic development through agriculture. At Camwata, Minister Sukai presented a $300,000 check for a boat. Over at Skyland, the bus was handed over to the village council to ensure school children are able to travel to and from school in comfort, eliminating the miles-long walk. The commitment of President Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali to upgrade 6 kilometers of the Mara Road network, Region 6, is being fulfilled as works are beginning to advance. Minister of Public Works Bishop Juan Edgell on Saturday visited the community to check on the progress of the works, which is being executed by his ministry. The sum of $100 million has been pledged to upgrade the road.
You can see the materials are stockpiled. We are planning to do a chip seal road coming out. We went to ground zero, which is where the creek is. And one of the good things that we have just resolved by my meeting with the chairman of the area is accommodation for the men for the force of count. We were looking at possibly using the police station, but the chairman has just given us the youth choice building. The equipment are coming in here early next week to get started. You see, we are stockpiling, we're doing some work. But when we talk about the equipment, we got to bring in the pavers, we got to bring in the rollers, we got to bring in excavator. So the men will be in the area, stationed in the area, working until we get this project executed.
Residents of Region 6 have been assured that the Blackbush Polder Road will be fixed.
Fixing Blackbush Polder is not something that is optional for us. It's something that we want to do. We want to ensure that you, the residents, the farmers, are beneficial. So keep it in mind at all times. You are deserving of having the road, and your government listens and responds. So there is no difficulty, and there should be no confusion that a man not do the road. We want to do the road.
On Sunday, Minister Edgell commissioned several main access roads along the Linden-Soosdijk Highway and the Tamari, Easterbank Demerara, valued at over $400 million. Communities such as Hararuni, Kururu, Grand Sand, Alliance and Kalicharan benefited.
So when we build roads, it is to significantly improve the lives of residents. So the impact of a road mustn't just be, man, we got a better road. But you must see the opportunities that exist. Through the Small Business Bureau, some of you could go and apply for loans or grants to open small businesses. Open up your minds. Let ideas fill your minds. And look and see that when government is bringing development to you, it's not just a school, or I got free Wi-Fi, or I got a road. But these are opportunities for me to improve myself, my family, and to bring prosperity to my neighborhood.
Minister within the Office of the Prime Minister with responsibility for public affairs, Kwame McCoy, who was also present, says these upgrades will add value to these communities.
With every road, every school, every bit of infrastructure that we are able to put in place in your community, it raises the profile of the community. It enhances the community profile. It encourages others to visit your community and to recognize it for its natural attraction and other attractions.
Operation Cleanup in Region 10 saw the ministry supporting the joint services, the Regional Democratic Council and residents. Debates on the 2022 national budget began on Monday as government and opposition put forward arguments for and against the massive $552.9 billion fiscal package announced in the House a week prior. Kicking off the debates for government was Minister of Labour Joseph Hamilton, who chided the APNU-AFC's criticism of the budget.
Speaker, I bring these things to the attention of the nation so that people can recognize when you come to this National Assembly and you seek to criticize government policy, you must be seen in the eyes of the public being able to present yourself as a government in waiting. You are incapable of doing that.
The national budget, themed steadfast against all challenges, resolute in building our One Guyana, is set to be crafted to complement Guyana's evolving economy. That was the view expressed by Minister within the Ministry of Local Government and Regional Development, Anand Prasad.
The budget is also geared at creating wealth while leading to tremendous improvements in the livelihoods and standards of living for all Guyanese. It aims to restore the confidence in our economy through this government's massive investment in our infrastructure, health, education, tourism, agriculture, security, housing, and other sectors.
Minister of Tourism, Industry and Commerce, Onej Walrond, then followed defending her budgetary allocation.
Budget 2022 will be truly transformative. Mr. Speaker, it will be the first of several budgets that propel us into the ranks of developed countries with a standard and quality of living that Guyanese have dreamed of for generations. Mr. Speaker, it will propel all of us.
Several government members of parliament followed, including Minister in the Office of the Prime Minister with responsibility for public affairs, Kwame McCoy, who announced the coming Media Communication Academy.
In a few weeks, we will fill the void for the world-class industry skills and qualifications across the local spectrum with the introduction of the Media Communication Academy in collaboration with the world-renowned online platform Coursera.
On the COVID front, Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony on Tuesday said the Infectious Diseases Hospital at Liliendal is now capable of providing a number of services to treat comorbidities in COVID-19 patients. Minister Anthony says patients with diabetes, high blood pressure, heart conditions, as well as those who need surgical operations can be treated at the Liliendal facility.
So we have enhanced the range of services that we can offer at the facility. So for example, if a patient needs dialysis, we can offer dialysis at the Ocean View facility. If a patient needs emergency surgery, we have an operational theater, a surgical theater at Ocean View, where we can do emergency surgeries. If a patient needs emergency cesarean section, we can do that at the Ocean View facility.
Dr. Anthony says that the hospital has seen great improvements since the PPPC administration took office in 2020. Back to the budget debate, government will never allow the Guyana Sugar Corporation, Gaisuku, to go to the wayside. That was the affirmation of Agriculture Minister Zulfikar Mustafa in defense of the $6 billion allocated for Gaisuku.
Another $6 billion is budgeted for the sugar industry. Another $6 billion. And what we will do, when we invest another $6 billion, we create more jobs. Tens of thousands of jobs we create. And we help tens of thousands of families. We put in the village economy more cash, and thousands of people are benefiting, not only the sugar workers, but people who live in the community and who depend on the sugar industry indirectly. So we will continue to support it.
Minister Mustafa also highlighted that government will be investing to modernize the country's drainage and irrigation systems. Minister Mustafa was followed by Government Member of Parliament Alistair Charlie and the Minister of Culture, Youth and Sport, Charles Ramson Jr., who noted that Budget 2022 has garnered the support of every sport federation, union and organization in the country.
For sport,
The budget is now $3.15 billion with a capital of $2.4 billion. And every single sport association and federation has issued statements for the first time in the history of this country, has issued statements in support of the government, in support of the ministry, in support of the program and the relationship that they have with the minister and the National Sports Commission.
Meanwhile, citizens can look forward to new and improved services from the Ministry of Human Services and the Social Security with the recent budgetary allocation of some $30 billion.
This budget that speaks of resoluteness, this budget that speaks of being steadfast, is not a budget that can be looked at in a silo. Instead, the facets of the budget integrate and interlock to provide a holistic, comprehensive approach to families across the country.
Minister of Public Service Sonia Parag assures Guyanese that there will be incremental increases to public servants' wages and salaries each year.
So don't stand here and tell this government that they don't care about public servants. Every single year, there will be money allocated on the 6-to-1, 4-to-1 for public servants. So don't mislead the nation by saying nothing is in here for public servants. Mr. Speaker, a 7% increase was given in 2021 despite we face cost of living, no fault of the government, and also in the middle of a pandemic that doesn't seem to want to exit the world. Mr. Speaker, compare that to what the APNU AFC has done for public servants.
Member of Parliament Dharam Kumar Siraj kicked off government's debate in the National Assembly on Wednesday, followed by Minister within the Ministry of Public Works, Deodat Indar, who launched a fiery contribution to the budget debate defending the $96.1 billion earmarked for the Public Works Ministry.
The energy infrastructure will see works in the hinterland community. All of the satellite generation companies, the 7 satellite generation companies that we have in Madhya, in Mabaruma, Linden, Letem, all of those places will see improved generating assets so that they can get more reliable power.
Championing government's masterpiece of a fiscal plan, Minister of Education Priya Manikchand said the education sector is on the path to recovery. Minister Manikchand said the budget will allow for a plethora of initiatives, including extra lessons for all students through the expansion of the Guyana Learning Channel, the school feeding program, and enhancing ICT classrooms. She said all students will have access to the internet as well as the Guyana Learning Channel to aid the delivery of education.
Children must feel the service, sir, and they will through this budget because we will give them their textbooks, and that is an investment in the learning recovery. We don't have to wait until all the conditions are right. In any event, before the end of 2022, all primary and nursery schools across this country will be connected with electricity and the learning channel.
The following day, Minister of Public Works Bishop Wan Edgell kicked off day 4 of the debates with a high-spirited presentation reminding the House that the 2022 budget will build on the administration's efforts to address the welfare of the middle class.
The Guyana Revenue Authority has just announced that the PAD series has been exhausted in 6 months and they're about to go into PAC. In 6 months. You know what that means? The dreams of our young people. Public servants are no longer in poverty with bicycles. They're buying their own cars. They're owning their own homes. This budget speaks about ensuring the viability of young people and their families.
In brushing aside the APNU AFC criticism that the government's infrastructural investment will not lead to tangible benefits for Guyanese, Minister Edgell reiterated that all of the administration's plans have been carefully structured to ensure prosperity for every Guyanese.
When we invest, sir, and we put the roads, whether they are hinterland roads or whether they are urban roads or farm-to-market access roads or reopening up superhighways. These are not roads that are leading to just a destination, but it's leading to prosperity. Opportunities for housing, opportunities for farming. We have given incentives for large-scale plantation agriculture. Those roads open up those opportunities.
Some $49.2 billion is budgeted for roads and $27.5 billion for bridges under the Public Works Ministry for this year. Next up was Minister of Natural Resources Vikram Bharat, who added that the administration's investment of the oil revenues will translate to growth in the non-oil sectors.
If you examine the budget, Mr. Speaker, you will see that the money from the Natural Resources Fund is flowing into those sectors. It is flowing into agriculture. It is flowing into health. It is flowing into education. It is flowing into tourism and manufacturing. It is flowing into our security. That is what it is being used for.
Minister Bharat also informed the House that Guyana will very soon expand her oil and gas operations.
Weeks from now, our new FPSO Unity will start producing 220,000 barrels of oil per day, taking our total to 340,000 barrels per day, Mr. Speaker. And our third FPSO Prosperity should be in Guyana by 2024, taking our production to 560,000 barrels per day. And Mr. Speaker, we are in the process of reviewing the field development plan for the fourth development, the Yellowtail development. And I want to say that we are not taking things lightly. As a government, we have already engaged 2 different sets of international consultants to ensure that they review the field development plan for Yellowtail and to ensure that when a license, once approved, is granted, that it brings additional benefits to the people of Guyana.
In the afternoon, Minister of Amerindian Affairs Pauline Sukai, in her budget presentation, says Amerindian people will benefit from a whopping $1.835 billion injection into the Amerindian Development Fund.
We have delivered to Amerindian communities 112 tractors, complete with trailers. And we are in the process of completing the delivery of the implements to those areas that are logistically difficult to meet in a short period. There was no time in Guyana's history that the Amerindian people have received such staunch and strong support for agriculture. Mr. Speaker, those tractors will be increased in number to another 71 this year, whereby other communities who are eagerly awaiting their allocation will have their allocation delivered before the end of 2022.
Minister of Home Affairs Robeson Ben on Thursday announced the launch of a new program aimed at upskilling prisoners to reduce incidents of persons returning to the system.
In respect of helping persons who exit the prisons re-enter normal life with the ability to take care of themselves and in reintegrating with their families. And so, in an overall program calling Increasing the Peace in Guyana, we are looking amongst many of the measures in having a fresh start for prisoners, having them trained, having them been given the tools to start out to relaunch activities.
Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony, while making his contribution on the government's 2022 budget on Thursday, said the Dr. Irfan Ali-led administration will lead the country of Guyana into collective prosperity.
Under the leadership of President Ali and this government and its budget, we are going to lead the peoples of this country to collective prosperity. Not one set of people or that set of people, but all the people will be led to prosperity.
Making her contribution to the budget debate, Minister within the Ministry of Housing and Water, Suzanne Rodrigues, says government's competency, capability and a track record in fulfilling manifesto promises proves that they are the right fit for the job.
The growth in the construction sector, the growth in the production of sand that the Honorable Minister Ashley Singh spoke about, the growth in manufacturing, the growth in export, the growth in real estate loans. These things do not happen by accident, Mr. Speaker. It is the result of careful planning and implementation of our government's policies. The growth in the construction sector in 2021 is directly correlated to our infrastructure programs and our housing program. The $5 billion increase in real estate loans issued by commercial banks is directly correlated to our policy increase in mortgage ceilings and mortgage interest relief. These direct results is because of careful state planning and prudent management of the economy.
Other news on Thursday, opposition members of parliament debating government's $552.9 billion budget since Monday in the National Assembly have argued that the budget is anti-poor.
It's the barefacedness that really troubles me when people talk about pro-poor, and you could increase the fees and taxes, 200 fees and taxes in a single budget. You recall the infamous Jordan's budget, where everything was increased, all the licensing fees, some moving by 400, 600%.
However, Vice President Dr. Bar Jagdeo said if one were to examine their policies as a government prior to 2020, the opposition's current posturing can only be described as barefacedness. The Vice President said the cumulative value of the many taxes imposed by the APNU AFC was $40 billion in 2020, but would have been $50 billion now. And that's it for this edition of Weekly Digest. For these and other government-related information, do log on to our website at dpi.gov.gy and our social media platforms as well. Goodbye.